Hi everyone, Thao here. So this is the Galaxy Z Flip3. Some of the best products are the ones that aim to solve everyday problems. The main appeal of this phone is that it turns a regular size smartphone into one that fits more comfortably in your pocket. Now, this isn't a problem that everyone has. You may not even think it's a problem at all. But if you do, then stick around because I'm going to share my honest opinions about what it's like to use Samsung's modern day flip phone. I guess the most logical place to start would be just how pocket friendly is this thing? For a lot of you guys who have big pockets, you won't understand this, but being a female, our clothing tends to, how do I put this? Lack usable pockets. I swear these clothing brands are doing this on purpose to force us to buy purses. Anyways, because a lot of my pockets aren't as roomy and spacious, a tall rectangular slab is way harder to carry around versus a folded square. It doesn't stick out and won't fall out as easily when I'm moving around. Even if I'm carrying a purse, this is still easier to store. Z Flip3, Note 20 Ultra. This is especially true for my girls out there who like wristlets. The Z Flip3 actually fits inside my wristlet. There's absolutely no chance my Note 20 Ultra will. I know what you're thinking, but Thao, isn't it way too thick then? Well, I'll put it this way. When folded, it's actually still thinner than some of the most popular wireless earbuds. So yeah, from a portability standpoint, I think they're onto something here. There's two screens. The main one is 6.7 inches, 120 Hz, Full HD+, AMOLED with a slightly taller aspect ratio that folds in half. Because of that, you will have to deal with a crease. Two things. Yes, you can feel it if you run your fingers over it. And yes, it is visible depending on the angle, but honestly, if I'm looking at it straight on like this, it really isn't that noticeable. If you're outside, the crease does become more visible because there's just so much more light and reflections. It hasn't bothered me too much, but we're all different. This is one of those things you'll have to experience for yourself to see if you can live with it. This also has stereo speakers, so for a phone that you can fold into a pocket-friendly square, you're still getting a pretty solid movie watching experience, especially content shot in widescreen. Oh, I do want to bring this up. When the phone is closed, you'll notice there's a slight gap in between. It's not all that bad, but that space tends to attract dust and lint from my pockets and ends up on the screen. The outer display's main function is to let you interact with widgets, check notifications, and quickly snap selfies. It lets you do the basics and nothing more, which I think is a part of its charm. Surprisingly, I think the outer display is one of my favorite parts of this phone. Because I had to physically flip it open to use, I found myself using the main display way less. When I do reach for my phone, I'll just check my notifications on the outer display, then put it back in my pocket, unless it's something urgent. I don't know if that was Samsung's intention, but for someone like me who's trying to cut back on their screen on time, I do appreciate it. On the flip side, you could argue that it's really tedious having to flip it open and close over and over. But like I said, that extra step made me more intentional with my smartphone usage. I don't aimlessly scroll on my phone as much anymore. A lot of the marketing for this phone is around the fun ways you can use it. Samsung calls this flex mode, and basically, if you're using an app that supports it, the content will shift around to fit the two parts of the display. It's like having a built-in adjustable stand whenever you need it. If you use Google Duo, you're gonna love this. I really feel like video chat is where flex mode shines because you can just place it down, frame yourself perfectly, and go completely hands-free. Inside the camera app, it's like having a built-in tripod. Put it down, frame your shot with the front or back cameras, then just hit record. And it's perfect for capturing time lapses too. YouTube is also supported now. It'll display the video on the top half and let you scroll through the comments on the bottom half. There's honestly not that many apps that have official support. But for apps that don't, you can go into the Labs menu and force them to work. It usually just pushes everything to the top half of the display and gives you this 4-button menu for notifications, screenshot, brightness, and volume. Netflix and other media apps do provide these extra video controls though, which is nice. In terms of phone calls, here's a breakdown of how it works. When you receive a call, you can pick up from the outer screen and it'll automatically be on speakerphone. By default, flipping it open won't answer a call. If you're like me and want that, you have to turn that feature on in the settings. While you're on a call, closing the phone will hang up on them, just like those old school flip phones. The whole experience is super nostalgic. Is it necessary? Probably not, but it's still a whole lot of fun. Other than that, the software experience is typical Samsung stuff. I would have loved to see Samsung DeX be included since all their other flagships have it, but unfortunately, it isn't. A highlight for me though is the fingerprint scanner. It's side-mounted and embedded into the power button instead of under the display like other high-end Samsung phones. It's placed a little high up for my thumb, but you can easily map another finger on your other hand, like this. This one works really, really well, and I like that it brings back the fingerprint gesture for pulling down the notification shade. Performance is also really, really good. My only complaint is that the top half of the phone gets pretty warm when you're doing more intense things. That brings me to the battery, which is likely the biggest trade-off. I'll put it this way, this is a morning to night battery with mild usage. If you're doing a lot of intense things, you'll need to plug this in before the day's over. Charging speeds also aren't amazing, as it takes about an hour and 45 minutes to fully charge when plugged in, and over 2 hours if you're dropping it on a wireless charger. There's also reverse wireless charging for topping off earbuds if you happen to have some battery to spare. Overall, the 3300 mAh battery isn't made for heavy smartphone usage. For the casual smartphone consumer who isn't on their phone for more than 4 to 5 hours a day, it should be fine. Okay, durability. I can't really speak much about it because I honestly haven't had it for that long. But if you're gonna be picking one up, get the insurance, get the extended warranty, because I think it'll be worth your peace of mind. That's not to say this isn't well built, because it really does feel solid. The hinge has good resistance, and if you look closely, the bendable areas are completely covered and protected. It also has a built-in screen protector that you're not supposed to take off, like ever. The protector feels a lot like glass. I'm just not as confident about the durability of the screen compared to real actual glass. They added an IPX8 water resistance rating this year, so that's a big step in the right direction. I mean, I'm not gonna be dunking this into water or swimming with it, but at least I know my phone won't get ruined if I take a call in the rain or snow. The Z Flip3 has a total of 3 12-megapixel cameras, a wide plus ultra wide on the back, and a punch hole selfie on the front. Unlike Samsung's other flagships, this doesn't have a telephoto lens at all. So any zooming you do will just be good old digital zoom. Although you aren't getting Samsung's best camera hardware here by a long shot, the pictures still look great to me and will easily get the job done. I've been completely satisfied with the pictures I've taken with the Flip 3. The selfies are nice and detailed, as you can see, maybe a little over sharpened in some scenarios. Like pores, sunspots, it's all visible. Yeah, being able to take pictures while the phone's closed, thanks to the front cover display, is a great way to take higher quality selfies too. It's surprisingly a really good experience. That cover display can also serve double duty to show your subject what they look like, so they can plan their pose before you hit the shutter. Seriously though, Samsung's done a great job elevating the design and aesthetics of the Z Flip 3. This thing is gorgeous. It's fashion forward, and I think they found a good balance, making it appeal to both men and women. We can all argue about how useful a product like this really is, but the technology here is crazy. And year after year, Samsung's making it more and more affordable. Maybe the novelty will wear off in a month or two, but I'm literally holding a phone that can fold in half. So should everyone go out and buy this? No, of course not. The battery life and the lack of a telephoto are gonna be total deal breakers for a lot of people. But if those trade-offs don't matter to you and you want something nostalgic, you want a conversation starter, you want a pocket-friendly device that unfolds into a full-size smartphone, then yeah, the Z Flip 3 might be exactly what you're looking for. Don't get me wrong, it's still an expensive phone, but if Samsung can keep bringing the price point down, I can see a lot of people falling in love with this, and that includes me. Honestly, I haven't been this intrigued by a phone in a long time. It's far from perfect, but it's super cute and a lot of fun. As usual, thank you so much for watching. Until the next one, I'm out of here.